So I don't know who needs to hear this. I don't know who this is for, but for whoever it's for, you're playing way too small still. Like, where's the camera at? Right here? You're playing too small still. I know you've done a lot of work. I know you've worked on your expression, your communication, your reactions, and you've come out of your shell a little bit. I agree. I agree. And good job. I'm not going to dismiss that, but still, though, there's more. There's a certain tone, there's a certain energy that you're not allowing yourself to be in. There's a certain je ne sais quoi that you're still holding back on for whatever reason. And I know what the reason is. You're scared. You're scared to ruffle feathers. You're scared to get people uncomfortable, but you're scared to ignite truth and transformation, even though you know that that's your intention. You know you're here to make change. You know you're here to create change. You are on a mission through whatever way that is. Maybe, and I just keep thinking about painters or musicians where you're not trying to be offensive. You don't want to use this paint color, or you don't want to blend genres. It's just something like that where you know it's in you and you know you want to experiment and express and be raw and be whatever and be passionate, but you're wanting to stay safe. You're wanting to stay in one lane, in the straight and narrow. You're wanting to come across a certain type of way, and you're basically self-abandoning. You're not allowing that expression to come through in the way that it's meant to. You're already made in a certain way. You have these natural tendencies that you're kind of hiding and letting just be on the back burner. It's like, no, God made you a way for a reason. And sometimes it's uncomfortable, right? Sometimes your truth will naturally trigger other people. And it is what it is. At this point, I know you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're tired of things not moving, not progressing. You're wondering, why is this not happening? You need to ask yourself, am I fully being? Am I fully being? Period. Don't even put no, am I fully being? Yes or no? And y'all have watched this. If you've been here for a minute, then you will see the transition and transformation of my own channel. If this is your first time, cool, whatever, welcome. This is me, right? I'm calling myself Inner Journey Oracle, and that's what I'm gonna stick to. You know what I mean? Because However, you've seen me experiment with how much I'm allowing myself to say, how kind I am, and the intention is going to stay the same regardless. But, and maybe this is for somebody, which is why I'm giving you my own personal revelation, but I have been keeping my tone and the way I come across very safe, very, palatable to other people. And I'm realizing that that's not that is my nature in general. I love to be just kind and enthusiastic and hopeful and giving you what you need to keep on going and being motivational. However, that's not me all the time. And even when I'm getting on myself, I'm not kind to myself. I'm raw and real. And I'm like, hey, Miss Girl, snap out of it, get it together. And so why am I allowing myself to not be in that passionate energy? So that's just an example. A lot of y'all have more passionate, raw energy that you're afraid to come across that way because you just don't want people to be uncomfortable. But here's the thing. There are other people out there that are intentionally they're intentionally out here trying to provoke people on purpose, and they have no purpose. They have no intention. They have the wrong intention, and they're out here saying nonsense just to get people riled up. And you're scared to, and that's your natural self, and you're scared to let that come out. Give yourself permission. I'm giving you permission. Go ahead and say it. When they said, well, y'all hear that TikTok, say the weird thing. Do the weird thing, whether you think it's weird, do the thing that makes you uncomfortable, but you know it's true to you. You know that's who you are. If you want to sing it that way, you want to express it that way, it's going to come out that way. You're not filtering yourself for the sake of other people. That's what we're talking about. Are you still filtering? Self-filtering for comfortability, self-filtering for people pleasing, self-filtering to make other people feel comfortable. When you stay in that energy, you're not creating the change that you know you want to create. So this is for people who have the good intentions, who want to make change happen. The things that move in this world usually come with a bit of triggering. It comes from uncomfortability, discomfort. How about that being a word? It comes from discomfort that makes people change, that makes people move, that makes people understand like, oh, wait, I do need to check myself. The way she said it wasn't easy to hear, but it's what I needed to hear. The way the song was produced, it wasn't easy to hear, but that's what I needed to hear. This painting might be offensive to somebody, but if I paint something that is in relation to something that's going on in this world that's uncomfortable, then I need to paint it. You need to depict it. You need to show it. If that's in your heart and that's what we're passionate about and that's how it gets expressed, it wants to be expressed through you in the realest, rawest fashion and form. And I'm not going to be upset when you do it. Matter of fact, we need more real, authentic truth being expressed, but it needs to be from the highest of intentions. If your intention is to create change, y'all, I'm getting hot. I always get hot when messages come through, y'all. Woo-wee. Oh, gosh, it happens every single time. That lets me know I'm on the money. I'm on the money. What am I saying? And I hate when I get off track, but here's the thing. That's just who I am. My real self is kind of all over the place if I just allow it to come through. But the intention is, the point is, if you're intentional about what you're creating and expressing, and you know that it's not to harm other people, you know that it's to motivate, to get people to change, to get people to see the truth, to get people to hear the truth, then you're good. Don't worry about how other people feel about it. If you feel confident in your core that what you're speaking and doing and saying and expressing yourself as is truth to you, then by all means go ahead. This is your permission. You don't need permission from some random stranger on the internet. But like I'm saying, I know I'm talking to somebody who's kind of in this in between, who is not quite fully jumping into the water. You're not quite fully there, and that's okay. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of dipping your toe in, figuring it out. Maybe it's a little bit slower. That's cool. But eventually, I want you to get to a place where you're super confident. You're not doing it for anybody else. You don't care what anybody else thinks. But you're also not being you're not being purposely evil. You're not being manipulative. You're not being clickbaity. You're not stirring the pot just to stir the pot. You're not being one of these bots online that's just stirring up the mix. No, we're not doing that. That's not who I'm talking to. That's not who I'm talking to. And if you think I'm talking to you and that you're supposed to be out here causing drama just to get people to think differently, no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you know I'm not talking about that. Okay? You do know that. I know you know that. Anyways, I have 2 songs. Let me, look, all I wrote down was a sentence or 2. Don't skip not the top part. Anyway, you're still playing small and playing it safe. The core truth of you is begging to be released, to be set free. There was a song I had yesterday. I think both of these songs were yesterday, but they kind of came together in succession. So the first one is Bird Set Free by Sia. And if you don't know it, it's basically, I don't care if I sing off key. I find myself in my melodies. I sing for love. I sing for me. I shout it out like a bird set free. And I ain't even look up the lyrics yet, but let me go to it. And I'm not going to try to play it because I don't want to, you know. But let's read through this. Let's read through this, and I'm not going to rush. I'm taking my time, and we're reading through all of this. Clipped wings, I was a broken thing. Had a voice, but I could not sing. You would wind me down. I struggled on the ground. So lost, the line had been crossed. Had a voice, but I could not talk. You held me down. So whoever's holding you down, and it could just be your own illusions that are holding you down, what you think is true and what you think is not true, what you think is going to happen, what you think is not going to happen. Whether that's your own doing, your own ego that's trying to keep you safe, or if that's people who have told you to be quiet, don't say anything, stay in a child's place, stay over there, this is not your business. Who are you to tell me? You held me down. I struggle to fly now. So this could be something from the past, like childhood energy where it's like, dang, I've been trained to not speak up. That's me. I've been trained to be kind of just like, oh, I'm soft. I've seen people not say anything so they keep the peace. I've watched that pattern in my family line back generations. I see it from my parents, from my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, great aunts and uncles, how they just keep it quiet and they don't say anything and they're not standing in their power and they're not saying what needs to be said and expressed in the way that it needs to be expressed. And that leads you nowhere. That gets you nowhere. That gets you no favor. That gets you more hurt, more damaged in the future. And you're not helping anybody when you are staying quiet, when you're staying small, when you're saying it nicely. And I'm not saying to say anything mean. I'm saying say it with truth, say it with conviction. Say it because you know it matters. Say it with that fire. Say it with that passion. Had a voice, but I could not talk. You held me down. I struggle to fly now, but there's a scream inside that we all try to hide. We hold on so tight we cannot deny. Eats us alive. Oh, it eats us alive. Yes, there's a scream inside that we try to hide. Basically, you're saying the same thing. Here's the chorus. I don't care if I sing off key. I find myself in my melodies. I sing for love. I sing for me. I know I'm looking over here, y'all, because I'm looking at myself, but the camera's over here. I see you. I shouted out like a bird set free. What's the next lyric? Now I fly, hit the high notes. I have a voice, hear me roar tonight. You held me down, but I fought back loud. There's a scream inside that we all try to hide. We hold on so tight we cannot deny eats us alive. So it's the same thing repeating itself. Anyways, next song. The next song is Break Free by Ariana Grande. And if you don't know these songs and you're like a little bit older, I mean, I suggest you go just give it a listen. Music comes to me all the time. So we have Break Free by Ariana Grande. Okay. Poof. Now this may be a little bit different, so we'll see. But if you want it, take it. I should have said it before. Try to hide it, fake it. I can't pretend anymore. I only want to die alive, never by the hands of a broken heart. I don't want to hear you lie tonight now that I've become who I really am. This is the part where when I say I don't want you. Oh, we're talking about somebody else. I'm stronger than I've been before. This is the part when I break free because I can't resist it no more. Maybe, let me see if there's anything else. We're just going to take that part because, I think it's going into the love side, and that's not what this is about. But if you're still playing small, I want you to try your best to find that power within you and do it in little ways if you can. If that's where you're comfortable with, maybe you don't need to speak it out loud. Maybe you practice writing down your real thoughts, putting it in a form to where you feel comfortable, making it anonymous. Just start taking those action steps where you are saying your full truth, nothing but the truth, and you're not watering yourself down. And if that means, I just write it down in a status and I post it, maybe you don't post it. Maybe you write it in your journal and you just write it real raw. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. You want to know what I wrote down in my I wrote it in my notebook because I was getting kind of mad at God and the universe. And sometimes you got to be like a little bit rough with God and the universe and be like, hey, what's really going on here? I'm expecting this thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm kind of getting real frustrated that you're not giving me what I asked for. I know I deserve this thing and I know that I'm doing the right thing. So what's the hold up? I really said, what's the hold up? Even that energy of questioning, where is it? That's truthful. Be honest. That's raw. That's real. I don't know if this matters to somebody. Maybe you need to be speaking up at the workplace and telling like, hey, I'm not getting paid fairly enough. People are so used to you being one way, and they might get shook whenever you come through with a different type of energy and you be like, hold the phone. I know you're used to me just letting things pass and being passive. I know you're used to me being whatever. And I might say this for another video because people do be trying to walk all over us because they don't see that you can really get there for real. We're going to save that for another one. I might go do that next, okay? Stop playing small. And by small, I know you have so much greatness in you, but it's the way it comes out, the way you allow yourself to express it. Come a little harder, come a little stronger, be a little bit more consistent if that's what it is. I'll see y'all later.